Chris, was it somewhat significant for both you and LeBron, knowing Dwayne wasn't in shoot, had the flu, clearly wasn't himself, to know that this is one you're going to have to step up, you and LeBron, maybe a little more than other nights when Dwayne is healthy?
Not really. We just played a game. I think we've all been playing long enough to really get a feel for the game and how it's going and just play off of that. Dwayne wasn't feeling well, but he was still aggressive. He still tried to attack the rim a few times, and you know, he came up a little short. The plays that he usually makes, he came up a little short. But as a team, I mean, we figure it out as time goes along. It's nothing extra that we did. We just want to win basketball games, and we come out prepared for that every day.
Chris, not to keep going back to the Utah game unnecessarily, but what did you guys learn from that night as far as the fight, scratch, claw mentality in these last 2-3 minutes of games that show up as pretty close when you weren't maybe necessarily expecting it?
Well, I think the most important thing is not to get discouraged no matter what happens, and limit teams to one shot and rebound the basketball toward the end of the game. You know, we have to show a little bit of resistance, make things hard for them, and when the ball goes up, we got to put a body on it, just like every fundamental play, and go get the basketball. And I think we did a very good job of that in the last 2 or 3 minutes. You know, they came back. We didn't really get too frustrated or anything. We just stayed down, kept playing defense, and when the ball was out there, when loose balls were on the floor, or when it was pretty much a toss-up, we got those balls, and those are very important.
Chris, how much do style points count in these types of games? In other words, you guys are up by 21. Should you win by 15 or 16? Does that matter, or is it just all about getting a win no matter what?
I mean, I think it's different for different guys. I just like to win. You're going to have some games like that. I think every team is going to give up a lead. If you point out one team in the season that hasn't done it yet or is not going to do it, then that'll be spectacular. But call me a glass is a half full kind of guy. But we won. That's most important. We just have to see some mistakes we made and just learn from them.
Chris, you guys had several possessions coming out of timeouts where they had the ball. I think it was 2 or 3 times late in the game, and you were able to get stops out of those. I think maybe one time you even took a charge on one, maybe midway through the fourth. Can you tell me what kind of sort of confidence it gives you guys to be able to stop it when you have a key defensive possession like that?
I mean, it's for one, it builds momentum with the crowd. It gets the crowd back into it because you can kind of hear them sighing sometimes when teams come back a little bit, just like any other crowd. But that gets them back into it. That kind of makes the other team hesitate a little bit, especially when you play good position basketball. Those guys like to attack. A few times they attacked and they thought they had an open lane.
Hey, bro, we got to play in the kitchen.
I lost my thought. Can I go?
No, you have to stay. LeBron, can you talk about over your career against Charlotte and Larry Brown's defense? Stay, Chris. They really had to sort of pack it in against you, and it's been a tough go. Was there something where tonight you either figured it out, or just with Dwayne being a little off, you said, "I've got to get it done tonight"?
It was a little bit of both. You try to figure out their system. They're a great defensive team. They definitely pack it in, force you to shoot jump shots, and you just had to pick it up a little bit. You see how offensively D-Wade was just a little bit off, so me and CB had to pick it up offensively and try to find a way.
Dwayne, could you just take us through the decision to play tonight? When did you decide you were definitely going to go, and how did you feel throughout most of the game?
Well, I mean, I decided probably about 4 o'clock. I thought about it, and having the luxury of having these 2 guys, 2 all-stars to play, I knew that I didn't have to do what I would normally have to do in the past, and that's come out and try to score 30. So my job tonight was just to come out and do whatever it takes to try to help us win the ball game. I knew I wasn't feeling as well to go out and score 30 tonight, but I was just trying to help us win, and I did that. So that's the luxury of having 2 guys like this.
Wayne, the play late where you got the steal off the, they're trying for an alley-oop.
Yeah.
You got the steal. Did you know that play was coming, or how did you diagnose how that play was going to happen?
Well, I mean, first of all, it's a part of our rotations. You know, I was a low guy. I think Brian told me, you know, make sure on that when I was rotating over. And when I was rotating, I kind of seen it set up. You know, how Boris Diaw is known for throwing those lobs. You know, we all know that. And it was the second one he threw in the game, threw one to Steven Jackson when I was guarding him through the time I got a steal. And that one as well. So just kind of a read, but I was also doing my job and trying to be in position to take the roll guy.
LeBron, was there something different you did against Charlotte tonight that maybe you hadn't before, as far as getting you? I think you had gone something like 7 or 8 games without a 30-point game against them, or was it just that you had to do it tonight?
I think it's almost the same answer. It's just a combination of both. I mean, defensively, LeBron, you know, his teams are always in the top 5. You know, the opponent's field goal percentage, and they do a good job of trying to load up on the opponent superstar. So, you know, tonight it was, you know, I got going early. You know, I was feeling well, shot the ball particularly well from the outside, and when you hit a few jumpers, you know, any defense, no matter how good they are, they start to play up on you a little bit more, and I was able to get to the paint also.